What if I told you that the leftover rice or potato in your fridge right now could be your secret weapon against belly fat? I'm not talking about some weird diet hack. I'm talking about real science, the kind that makes your gut bacteria work for you instead of against you. Stay with me for the next few minutes because what you're about to watch will completely change how you think about carbs. But first, please hit that subscribe and like button. It literally takes 1 second and it helps the channel grow and spreads this info to more people. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus is a friend of mine, 38 years old, dad of two, and completely frustrated. He'd been doing everything right, counting calories, hitting the gym 4 times a week, cutting out bread, pasta, all the usual suspects. The scale barely budged. His belly fat still there, mocking him every morning in the mirror. Then he changed one thing. Just one. He started eating his sweet potatoes cold. I know, sounds weird, right? But here's what happened. In just 3 weeks, his hunger disappeared between meals. His energy shot up, and that stubborn belly fat finally started melting away. He was still eating carbs, just smarter carbs. What Marcus discovered, without even knowing it, was the power of something called resistant starch. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Picture regular starch like a chain made of sugar links. When you eat hot rice or fresh bread, your body breaks those chains apart in your small intestine. Sugar floods your bloodstream, insulin spikes. And if you're not burning that energy immediately, it goes straight to fat storage. But resistant starch, totally different game. It resists being broken down. It sneaks past your small intestine completely intact and lands in your large intestine. Now here's where it gets interesting. Your large intestine is like a bustling city of bacteria, trillions of them. And when resistant starch shows up, it's like delivering fuel to the good bacteria. These bacteria go to work. They ferment the starch and create something called short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, acetate, and propionate. Think of these as tiny molecular messengers, and they have 3 very important jobs. First, they make you insulin sensitive. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck does that even mean? Let me break it down. Insulin is like a key. Every time you eat, sugar enters your bloodstream. Insulin's job is to unlock your cells so that sugar can get inside and be used for energy. When you're insulin sensitive, which is good, your cells respond perfectly to insulin. The key works smoothly. Sugar, it gets into your cells quickly to fuel your muscles and brain. Very little sugar is left floating around in your blood to be stored as fat, but when you're insulin resistant, which is bad, your cells basically ignore insulin. It's like the key doesn't fit properly anymore. Your body has to pump out more and more insulin to force the sugar into your cells. Meanwhile, all that extra sugar in your bloodstream, your body panics and stores it as fat, especially around your belly. Here's the thing. Most people eating a typical Western diet are becoming insulin resistant without even knowing it. All those blood sugar spikes from the processed foods are basically causing you to store more belly fats. But those short-chain fatty acids from resistant starch, they fix the locks. They make your cells respond to insulin properly again. Less sugar gets stored as fat. More gets used for energy. Your belly fat finally starts to disappear. Second, they turn off your hunger. Ever notice how you can eat a huge plate of pasta and feel hungry again 2 hours later? That's because regular starch doesn't trigger your fullness hormones properly. But resistant starch, it sends signals to release GLP-1 and peptide YY. These are your body's I am full hormones. They literally tell your brain to stop eating. And here's the kicker. You know those expensive weight loss drugs like Ozempic? That's semaglutide. And it works by mimicking GLP-1. Well, resistant starch helps your body make GLP-1 naturally, for free. No injections, no side effects, no massive price tag. Third, they boost your metabolism. Now, let me explain how this actually works. Think of your gut like a factory. If the factory isn't running efficiently, most of the sugar from food goes straight to storage, your fat cells, but resistant starch is like the special fuel for the factory's machines. The machines are like your gut bacteria, which ferment the starch into those short-chain fatty acids I mentioned. These short-chain fatty acids are like workers distributing energy throughout your body. Butyrate improves the factory's control system, making it better at handling sugar and reducing fat storage. Acetate fuels both the liver and muscle, helps them stay metabolically flexible. It plays a key role in fat burning. Propionate sends signals to your brain, telling it the factory has enough resources so you don't overeat. Plus, these short-chain fatty acids reduce inflammation in your gut. And here's why that matters. Chronic inflammation is like having a brake on your metabolism. It slows everything down, making it harder to burn calories efficiently. The result? The factory runs more efficiently, burns more energy, stores less fat, and keeps hunger under control. Basically, resistant starch turns your gut bacteria into your personal fat burning team. Now, I know what you're thinking. Like, this sounds too good to be true. Are these just some social media influencers making claims? Fair enough. Let me show you the research. These are peer reviewed science. A study published in Nature Metabolism, by the way, that's a big deal journal with rigorous editorial standards. It followed 37 people. For 8 weeks, they gave them 40 grams of resistant starch daily. Nothing else changed. Same diet, same exercise. Result? Average weight loss of 6 pounds with better insulin sensitivity. And get this, they found specific bacteria in their guts that are linked to fat burning, but that's not all. A second study published in Food Production, Processing, and Nutrition reviewed dozens of research papers. The conclusion? Resistant starch plays a crucial role in glucose control, fat metabolism, and cholesterol levels. It's especially effective for people dealing with type 2 diabetes and obesity. And here's a third study from Frontiers in Nutrition that's really interesting. They looked at resistant starch from beans and pulses specifically. Not only did it reshape gut bacteria composition, but it also reduced gut inflammation and improved the intestinal barrier. Think about that. Resistant starch is literally healing your gut while helping you lose fat. Now, not all resistant starch is created equal. There are 5 types, but only 2 really matter for fat loss. The first is RS2. That's the stuff in raw potatoes and green bananas. It's naturally resistant from the get-go. The second is RS3. This is the magic one. It forms when you cook starch and then cool it down. Now, you might wonder, what about the other types? RS1 is physically trapped inside unprocessed whole grains, seeds, and legumes. It's resistant because it's stuck behind cell walls that your enzymes can't break through. While it does reach your large intestine, you'd need to eat a lot of unprocessed whole grains and legumes to get meaningful amounts. It's just not practical to do it. RS4 is chemically modified starch, mostly in processed foods. The problem, your body doesn't interact with it the same way, so it doesn't trigger these benefits. RS5 forms when starch binds with fat. Sounds good, but the amounts in diet are usually tiny, never enough to make a real impact. That's why RS2 and RS3 are your fat loss superstars. Here's what happens. When you cook rice, the heat breaks apart those starch chains. Easy to digest, quick sugar spike, but when you cool it, those chains start linking back together, except now they're in a tighter formation. Your digestive enzymes can't break them apart. It's like the difference between loose rope and tightly braided cable. That's why Marcus's cold sweet potatoes work. That's why leftover rice is actually better for you than fresh rice. Amazing, right? All right, practical time. How do you actually get this into your day? The research shows 15 to 30 grams per day gives you the benefits. That's about 1 cup of cooked and cooled rice, or 1 medium cooked and cooled potato, or 1 green banana. For breakfast, you can have some oats cooked the night before and stored in the fridge. The cooling process creates resistant starch. For lunch and dinner, you can make a big batch of rice or potatoes on Sunday. Let them cool in the fridge and use it over the next few days with your protein and vegetables. If you do not like to have them cold, you can warm them up lightly. You won't destroy all the resistant starch. Just don't blast it with high heat. For snacks, why not add some green banana into your existing favorite smoothie? But people mess this up. Here are the mistakes I see. Mistake 1, going too hard, too fast. Here's the key. Start slow. Remember, you're feeding bacteria. Feed them too much too fast. They will throw a rebellion, and you'll be bloated and gassy. Not a good experience to go through. Start with maybe 10 grams. Let your gut adjust for a week, then gradually increase. Your bacteria need time to party properly. Mistake 2, thinking this is magic. Look, resistant starch is powerful, but it's not going to overcome a diet of pizza, donuts, and late-night ice cream binges. Here's the reality. But if you're eating 3,000 calories of junk food and add some resistant starch, you're still going to gain weight. The laws of physics still apply. Resistant starch is like having a really good financial advisor. They can help you make smarter decisions with your money. But if you're spending $10,000 a month and only earning $3,000, you're still going broke. Same with fat loss. Resistant starch helps your body handle food more efficiently, reduces hunger, and improves insulin sensitivity. but you still need to be in a calorie deficit to lose fat. It's a tool in your toolbox, not a magic wand. Mistake 3, only eating one type. Different resistant starches from different food feed different bacteria. Mix it up. Variety is key here. Mistake 4, reheating too aggressively can break down the RS3. Keep it gentle if you want the fat loss benefits. Look, I get it. This might sound complicated, but here's the truth. You're probably already eating some of these foods. You just need to eat them smarter. Instead of hot rice, let it cool. Instead of fresh potatoes, make them ahead and use them cold. It's literally that simple. And the best part, you're not restricting anything. You're not cutting out food groups. You're just optimizing what you're already eating. Your gut bacteria start working for you instead of against you. So when will you see results? Most people notice less hunger within the first week. That's the appetite hormones kicking in. Energy improvements usually show up around week 2. Scale changes. Give it 3 to 4 weeks of consistent intake. Remember, Marcus, 3 weeks. That's when he started seeing his belly fat finally respond. But everyone's different. Some people see changes faster, some slower. The key is consistency. All right, here's what I want you to do. This week, try one simple change. Cook a batch of rice or potatoes, let them cool, use them in your meals. Pay attention to how you feel. Are you less hungry between meals? Do you have more stable energy? If this video helped you understand resistant starch better, smash that like button and subscribe for more science-backed nutrition content. Drop a comment and let me know what resistant starch food are you going to try first. Your gut bacteria are waiting to become your fat-burning allies. You just have to feed them right. And remember, let's get healthy again. I'll see you in the next one.